Hello, everyone. This is Margo Faith Amore. Working Girl Becomes Light Warrior on behalf of Shine Our Light. We've taken a moment, Connie and myself, to pop and say hi and just really to share some of our reflections on our recent podcasts, which I hope you all have enjoyed. I'm sure you have. We did. Just really, we wanted to talk about what it was like for us, how it made us feel, sort of thoughts around us. And, we did ask for feedback. So feedback is always very welcome because that will help us as we continue on this journey. So Connie, please say hello to our lovely viewers again.
Hello, lovely viewers. It's very nice to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. So Connie, from my perspective, the preparation for our time together was really doing some groundwork, which you and I had already done in building, dare I say, a friendship. It feels like a friendship from my perspective.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
And I feel the conversation flows very easily in a very transparent way. And there's a lot of sensitivity around that. And that's probably even a stretch area for me, being hard head sometimes, which I'm very conscious of on occasions. But the preparation from my perspective was really just to put together a framework in which we could have a really meaningful conversation together and then to understand, how this would be shared with our audience and, and where this will bring us. So from your perspective, Connie, how was the preparation, or what were your considerations before we actually got to release our podcast and have our podcast?
So for me, it was so nice. You'd kind of shared some information regarding what your intention, to of how you wanted, for information to flow and for us to be expressive and authentic, with who we are, what our thoughts are, and so you really set a beautiful stage for that. And my preparation was, as I kind of thought, beforehand, I prepared the chart of shine your light through the numerology, the spiritual numerology, and so I had that preparation. But it was just so. I kept being nudged from my side and from my guides to actually be in that moment and to, I guess, to be that in that authenticity was to just really be in the moment and flow. And so it was nice, and for me it's nice too, because if I prep too much, then it's like I can scare myself out of things.
Well, I'm the same. If I prep too much, you just lose that. You mentioned authenticity, but I think you lose that essence, that kind of heartbeat, that it's not energy, but it's like a glow that comes from within, and people will see it in your eyes because it's naturally flowing. So you can do all the prep work at the end of the day, and I'm sure you're the same as myself. Have done lots of presentations and formal this and formal that in our careers, which is great. But my intention was for it to be real, and to flow in a natural way, but also through that intention or that route, I think allows spirit also to intervene and to flow with information. Because I find, or have found, and I did when I was speaking with you, there were things I said I don't remember saying. It's as if there was like divine, it was a divine platform in which information could flow. And I see it very much being like that as well. And the way I feel you can achieve that is through naturally having the conversation and not working from a script per se, but having a format and then letting the conversation go, like we're mentioning today. And I felt, during it and afterwards, because I listened to it lots and lots of times, and then put it all together to release. I felt really very honored to have spoken with you, because from my perspective, you were very, very genuine. You were very open and very vulnerable. And, you shared things which I had no expectations of how the conversation would go, but I was, wow, you're such a strong lady, and you have been through so much in your life, but you're comfortable enough to share that with the people who decide to watch the podcast. And that was very impactful for me personally, and I'm sure for many people who actually listened to it as well. And vulnerability, I think it's okay to be vulnerable, because because that really kind of attracts the essence of you inside. And that's where I feel you can let go of so many things, is being vulnerable and dealing with it and talking about it. And it's okay.
And I think being vulnerable is where freedom lies. Freedom to really.
And these conversations, you can't be manufactured. It comes naturally, and it feels whatever's comfortable to you at the moment to share, whether it's on a one-to-one, in person, or through a medium that we're using right now. But personally, I'm very much into let's share our stories, because I think it creates a lot of baggage, a lot of unnecessary weight that we humans, in brackets, are carrying around in this 3D heaviness. And we don't need it, because it's not a true reflection of who we are and what we are, and who we can be, and who we are really in essence. So and a lot of that, I feel, is linked to the whole programming piece I would have touched on, I'm sure, at some stage. But from birth, even before birth, that indoctrination, that programming, the sound waves, the frequencies, the words, all of this helps shape us and create unnecessary weight, and created, I feel, situations in our lives which have damaged us potentially. And we never talk about it because we're afraid to be vulnerable. So it's creating a space for people to be able to share and be vulnerable and lift that weight off, lift the weight out of the heaviness, lifting your weight, because then your path becomes lighter, and you actually can travel further, and you actually feel as if you can smile a bit more, and you're a bit more engaged, and there's a bit more space, and there's more space to let more positivity in.
Agreed. Yeah. I think when we're in that contraction, it's just, we kind of hold things down or hold things back and keep things in. It's when we're able to give them that space and open them up, talk about them. We, give them that, like you're saying, that space, but that it kind of dilutes because we're able to bring in other thoughts, more air to it, give it some space, and it kind of dilutes. So it makes that lightness for us. To be able to
it holds this other way, holds us back, weighs us down. I know of my own personal journey, and it negates my my energy levels, and so I'm so exhausted, and then I get frustrated because I'm not necessarily doing what I want to do, because I'm exhausted because of the unnecessary weight or whatever baggage, whatever we attach to ourselves, that you're carrying around. So it's good to share, I feel, and I think you're very much aligned to me. The numerology wowed me, and I loved it. I just wanted more. So well done, you. Fascinating.
It is a really fun and fascinating, modality, and what a great resource, to just kind of really nail things down for us. Like, what challenges did I want to experience in this lifetime? What talents and gifts, am I going to have just innately within me? And I get to discover them through those challenges. So they work so tandemly and so beautiful. Without them, we really can't really sharpen our saw, if you will, or define and or refine and really explore those gifts and talents. And then with all of that, you get to figure out what your goals are and just kind of have them laid out. It's just really interesting, and help, really great helpful hints to your life plan of what you from a soul perspective of what you came here to achieve and experience. It's fascinating when you hear that, oh, this is what I came to experience. So I can't imagine me doing it any other way. Of course, I would go for the gusto and go all the
Yeah.
way and really go for it. So no wonder I had these severe tragedies or, really hard times, right? And so
Yeah.
it's just being able to, flip that perspective from that higher perspective instead of happening to me, happening for me.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
taking, it's not a control thing, but you are leading the journey rather than the journey leading or controlling you. And that's a very powerful approach, I feel,
Hmm.
um, for you to move forward with, or for people to move forward with.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're all human. There's no right or wrong. There's no transcript or, instruction guide on how we all should live our lives. So they'd probably try
No,
to write that.
because your truth and my truth are different.
Yeah.
And in my right and your right are different. And so it's really beautiful to come into that neutrality to where, you
Yeah.
really can and honor everyone's own journey
Yeah.
and be in that non-judgment
Yeah.
view. It's very
Yeah.
empowering.
It is. And that's what makes, I think, humanity unique and beautiful, because it is so different and all shapes, forms, whatever. It just
Yeah,
blends all beautifully together,
makes it
and
so much
just
fun.
and makes it so much fun. Well, hopefully lots of fun.
Yeah.
And then how that then blends in with nature, with our environment, with the ocean, with water, with the four elements of the
Yes.
earth is amazing, and how we can respect that and blend with it in a
Mm-hmm.
positive way, which is sounds like another podcast, actually. We could
Great.
chat forever, couldn't we?
We can. Yes, we can.
Yeah. So
I do very much enjoy our chat.
yeah. So I know you shared the piece on the astrology, but there's other things that you do as well. I think
Mhm.
you do the bowls or whatever. What else do you do,
Yeah,
please?
so I do the Reiki and crystal Reiki, past life regression, the beyond quantum healing, which
All
has
right.
been very healing. Again, another modality that is so enlightening for understanding, carrying forth some uh, lessons, some growth opportunities, and understanding, sometimes too where things stem from with the past life regressions. And what's fun is a lot of my yeah, the with my clients, we tend to go galactic. So again, just we're having not just Earth lives, but our galactic um, lives, and how everything. What a beautiful, how everything just really ties together. You just see it gives such an insight of we're so much more than what we think we are
Mm,
here in this just one life, right? And just in this one body, this one section, this one spark of us, and we are so much more. And so being able to explore that and understand that just, I believe, brings more meaning into all the nuances of this life.
hmm
And
Yeah, and I'm very
yeah,
much aligned to that because the work I've been doing now just over a year or so, you know, accessing the Akashic records has been truly enlightening from my own perspective, but also for the work I've been doing with people who are interested
yeah,
in hearing more. So you're reflecting and understanding your past lives. And yes, you mentioned the galactic. So it's not just necessarily Earth-based. It could be, it's more than likely will be galactic in some shape or form. So understanding those origins
yes.
really, I think, can help you kind of maybe resonate with certain characteristics,
It,
mannerisms,
in this
behaviors.
life,
Yeah,
yes, so much. Yes, so much. So I've really enjoyed too. That's where you and I were able to make our connection was
that's right.
through, the course of
Yeah,
the Galactic Akashic records. And they are so vast and so
yes,
enlightening, and powerful. The
very
things that,
powerful. Mm.
and I love it because it's what, soul shows us at that time for ourselves and for our clients that is most relevant for them at that moment.
Yeah, it's
And that's
what's
what
good
I've,
for our
yeah,
highest good, our highest good.
always, yes, it
Um,
always flows that way for our highest and best good in that
so
moment. Yeah.
um and and there is no right or wrong, as you say, they'll share what is appropriate at that given time. But the going back to what we originally touched on, intention, that's so important. If you're going to have your Akashic records read, that you set the right intention.
Mhm.
And it's aligning that attention you with your client, that the intention is very clear and honorable because you are going into a very sacred space.
Yes.
And I'm not really looking to talk about Akashic records today, but I just wanted to touch on it because it is very much part of our journey. And if you have the opportunity to access your records, it's really, truly a precious time and place
And
to
so
actually have the
insightful,
exposure.
so insightful for us. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so anything else
Yeah.
you'd like to share about our, we went on a little journey as we always do. Anything else you'd like to share, reflections on the podcast that we had?
Oh, I thought it was so fun. I too went back, and of course was listening to it and also was in the same thing. "Oh, I don't remember saying that. Or, it was just that time just flew by. And
Mhm.
I believe, it was so spirit driven
Yeah,
and I don't speak much or share much too often regarding my story
no,
with my clients. It's about them and where they're at. Though
yeah,
I do relate in so many ways to my clients, because it's like as it is with anyone, you have a certain resonance with certain people, and that's how we kind of hook up, right?
yeah,
And flow in that. But no, I felt very blessed and very honored, and very grateful that Spirit assisted me in sharing, my story of, and and again, it's not what happened to me, but how my soul wanted things to play out for my own growth,
yeah,
and looking at things again from that soul perspective.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was beautiful. I appreciated the opportunity, and again, always so much fun to visit with you.
Well, I think I feel very blessed to have crossed paths with you. And it's not I think we're kind of on a very similar path,
Oh
maybe
yeah.
different paths, but there's very closely, lots of interactions, I feel. And this is only the beginning.
Yes.
I feel that. So watch this space for more. And talking about that, from your perspective, Connie, what would be next? What would you like to do next with Shine Our Light and with me?
Oh
Have
my
you thought
goodness.
about that?
There's
That's a
so many
heavily loaded
directions.
question.
There's so many directions we could go in, but
Yeah,
we do yeah, I also do a divine healing. It's a quantum divine healing, and it's based off a set of multiple charts, and it's very spirit driven, it's you know, with my clients, that it's so engaging, and you just can go anywhere from DNA repair to cellular generations to, you know, your history to shock and trauma to color therapy to sound frequencies,
Wow.
numerology, abundant living. I mean, it's
Wow.
everywhere.
I
I
think
mean, it's just,
there's definitely lots to think about. And what I would
yes,
say to our viewers is watch this space, because Connie and myself will kind of put our heart-centered energy and minds together to create another podcast to share with you all.
more to
And
come. Thank
more
you.
to watch this space, more to come. So on behalf of Connie and myself, I'd like to thank you all very much. Hope you've enjoyed our little mini get together today, and we look forward to spending some more precious time with you again.
Yeah.
So on behalf of Shine Our Light, Connie and myself, I bid you farewell and speak soon. Thank you.
Thank you.